That night, John decided to test his luck and went into the century-old mansion, pretending to snap a few photos. But when he got home and lay down to sleep, he suddenly heard a roaring sound from the bathroom like a tidal wave. He opened the door and saw the whole bathroom had turned into an ocean. From that moment on, a ghost latched onto him. The next night at dinner, his coffee got thrown to the floor, and he caught a glimpse of a ghost in the mirror, though it didn't seem interested in him. When he got back home, water was pouring out from inside the house. He opened the door and found the whole place flooded. Then a wave came crashing right at him. That was enough to make him believe the curse was real, so he had no choice but to return to the haunted house. Inside, a mother and son were already waiting for him, along with a priest. All of them had come to the house by accident and ended up haunted. Just then, the clock struck midnight. Every night at that hour, the spirits came out, and the only safe place was that one room. But John didn't take it seriously. He wanted to use this chance to figure out how to break the curse. The second he stepped outside, he saw a candle floating in the air right in front of him, so he turned and went the other way. He had barely passed a portrait when the figure inside started moving. Then he heard the sound of a blade being sharpened behind him. John panicked and pulled out his homemade ghost camera. The particles it sprayed landed on the spirit, and for a split second he saw it raising an axe. But as he ran and kept snapping photos over his shoulder to see how close it was, he wasn't watching where he was going and slammed straight into a mirror. Luckily, the others rushed in just in time and scared the ghost off. That was when John finally understood how dangerous this house really was. If the few of them wanted to lift the curse on their own, they didn't stand a chance. The next day, John and Ben went to see a professor who had once published a book about the house. He told them the owner's name was Mike. Mike had installed special cameras all over the place, and every night after midnight, the ghosts would start wandering through the house. But when the footage was enlarged, you could see fear on the ghosts' faces, like they were hiding from something even worse. Just knowing that wasn't enough, they needed a way to talk to the dead, so they found a woman named Anna, who claimed to be the most powerful medium around. Wanting to show off how professional she was, she insisted on seeing the house for herself. Once inside, Anna started muttering to herself, as if she were performing some kind of spell. Not long after, she finished, agreed on a price, and left. But sure enough, 2 hours later, she came right back. She had clearly been cursed too, and the first thing she did was tear into Father Ben, demanding to know why he hadn't warned her that stepping into the house would get her haunted. Before long, midnight was coming again. After leaving the professor, Ben and John had quietly taken some of the material he'd collected on the house. Among it was a letter from the former owner Mike to a woman named Mary, inviting her to the seance room. They also found a floor plan of the mansion, and sure enough, it showed exactly where that room was. The painting in front of them turned out to be its hidden door. When they opened it, the room was covered in dust and spider webs. The group sat around a table while Anna chanted a spell to summon Mike. She tried to send everyone's souls out of their bodies so they could find him and ask what he knew. In the end, only John succeeded. He arrived just in time to see Mike's spirit come in, still searching for his wife. Even after hundreds of years, he still hadn't given up. But once he realized the person in front of him wasn't her, he turned and ran. John chased after him, searching room after room. Along the way, he saw countless souls trapped inside the house. He finally found Mike standing in front of a painting. John asked him about the evil spirit, but Mike had no real answers. None of the trapped souls knew what it truly looked like. All they knew was that its power was terrifying. Just then, midnight hit. In an instant, every soul in the house panicked and started scrambling for somewhere to hide. Only John stayed where he was, determined to finally see what the evil spirit looked like. The creature slowly walked toward him, but then some mysterious force pulled John into another room. A guard inside told him to hide under the table fast. When the evil spirit entered the room, John tried to slip away while it wasn't looking, but the severed head sitting on the table spotted him. At the same time, back in the real world, John's body was taken over by another spirit. The evil ghost chased after him, trying to turn him into the final soul needed for its ritual. That was when Anna realized another spirit had possessed John's body, so she started ringing a bell. The sound was meant to guide John's soul back to where it belonged. At the last second, it drove out the spirit that had taken over his body, let John return to himself, and saved him from the evil ghost. Even though they still hadn't gotten much of a lead, John had at least seen the evil spirit's face, so they went to a police sketch artist. After listening to a long string of bizarre details, the artist managed to draw the creature almost perfectly. The problem was, the face looked like a rotting corpse, so John asked him to fill it out based on the same features, and soon they had a second sketch. This time, they immediately recognized him as Alex, the son of a wealthy businessman from long ago. At his mother's funeral, Alex had broken down crying, but his father saw that as weakness and threw him out of the family. Not long after that, his father suddenly died, and Alex came back to inherit everything. He started throwing lavish parties, but people kept vanishing during them. Before long, Rumors spread that Alex was using blood sacrifice and black magic to protect his wealth and status. Eventually, his own workers couldn't take his evil anymore, so they cut off his head. As he died, he swore that even as a ghost, he would come back for revenge. Anna said that if they wanted to exorcise Alex, they would need something that had belonged to him. Now that they knew who the evil spirit was, and his estate was nearby, that seemed like the best place to look. The only problem was that the estate had since been turned into a museum. John followed the tour guide all through the mansion, but he still couldn't find a single item that clearly belonged to Alex. And the three of them weren't the only ones in the estate. A dead ship captain was there too. John tried talking to him, thinking the captain might know where to find one of Alex's belongings. The captain spoke to them through the steam in the air, but first he asked for one thing in return. Once the evil spirit was gone, he wanted John to release him into the sea. Then the captain led them to a cabinet in the main hall. Hidden beneath it was a huge underground space. The two adults said they were too big to squeeze down there, so they talked Billy into going instead. He had no choice but to climb down. Once he got to the bottom, he realized it was actually a grave. All the people Alex had murdered were buried there, which explained why none of their bodies had ever been found. Billy searched the place and found Alex's hat. The moment he put it on, the three of them hurried back to the haunted house. It turned out that Alex had been so cruel in life that his workers finally cut off his head, but even after death, he still wanted to keep hurting people, so he began preparing a ritual that would free him from the haunted house. He needed 1,000 souls, and he was almost there, but the last soul was the most important one. The ritual could only be completed if that person came willingly, so Alex set his sights on young Billy. Billy's father had died a year earlier, and Alex pretended to be him. He wrote on paper, "I'm your father. I want to see you," then lured Billy toward the basement. At the same time, Billy's mother Gabby learned about Alex's plan and moved to save her son with the others. To stop them from interfering, Alex unleashed the souls under his control. There were spirits of every kind, from all different places. Luckily, they had numbers too, so they used Ben as bait to draw the spirits away. That gave Gabby and John a chance to reach Billy, but they had badly underestimated Alex's power. The moment they reached the hallway, the door kept getting farther away instead of closer, with the house shifting and changing around them at every second. In the blink of an eye, the two of them were separated. That was when John remembered Mike, the former owner who had also been tricked to his death by the evil spirit. With Mike's help, John made his way through that warped space and finally escaped the house. He found Billy just as Alex was luring him in. John kept warning him to stay away from the glowing light, but Billy was overwhelmed by how much he missed his father. John kept telling him the truth. A real father would never ask his son to die with him. That finally got through to Billy and pulled him back. To buy everyone else time, Father Ben kept leading the spirits away, running through the house non-stop. But in the end, he was alone, and they finally surrounded him. With nowhere left to run, Ben started talking to them, trying to break the spell Alex had kept them under for so long. He told them the truth. The reason they were all still trapped there was Alex, and if his ritual succeeded, they would be imprisoned in that place forever. Ben's words snapped them awake. The spirits finally understood and turned against Alex on the spot, but even with them on his side, that still wouldn't be enough to defeat him. So Anna went to awaken the most powerful psychic force ever sealed away. Then everyone gathered at the graves outside the haunted house, where controlled spirits were everywhere. Everything was ready except for one last thing, an item that had belonged to Alex. They could only drive him out if they had something he had carried in life. Just then, the professor arrived with a piece of Alex's hat, but on the way, he was attacked by spirits and fell into an open grave. Luckily, Billy was quick enough to get to him, and in the end, he successfully delivered the hat fragment into Anna's hand. Anna cast her spell swiftly, and the magical energy gradually grew stronger. Alex tried to resist, but he had already been completely overpowered. Finally, in a burst of light, Alex was utterly destroyed, and peace returned to the world.